Chapter 14, 44. Qing sees Dismay. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Cleanse Soul Immortal Goo. It looked like a tadpole but with the size of Fang Yuan's fist, and was completely grayish-white. Right now, it was floating above Fang Yuan's palm. I finally succeeded. It was not easy. Fang Yuan inwardly sighed. Refining goo was truly a huge gamble. They had attempted close to 30 times before barely succeeding. The resources consumed were already in enormous numbers. Fang Yuan was not able to bring out these resources, but he could take out Shadow Sect's inheritances and exchange them for Langya Sect's sect contribution points, and use these sect contribution points to exchange for plentiful resources from Langya Sect's warehouse. But these resources did not include the crucial immortal material Snow Lotus Essence. The fact in front of them proved this rank 7 immortal material was greatly helpful. After the immortal goo recipe had gone through modifications, it would become much better than before, or more accurately, it would become much more suitable for Fang Yuan's refinement method. The only mild disappointment was that this cleanse soul, immortal goo, was only rank 6. If it were rank 7 cleanse soul, immortal goo, it could directly be used to set up the immortal killer move, which could start breaking the soul path trap in the immortal zombie body. Rank 6. Cleanse Soul. Immortal goo could be used as well, but its effect was much lower and required at least 8 years before it could completely get rid of the soul path trap. This was, of course, without counting those time path methods. If time path methods were used to supplement the killer move, Fang Yuan estimated the 8 years of time could be reduced to 3 years. 3 years was referring to the time in 5 regions. This was the limit of Fang Yuan's current ability. 3 years is too long. Fang Yuan's gaze was deep. If it were rank 7 cleanse soul immortal goo, he would require at most half a year of time, in 5 regions' time, to resolve the soul path trap in the immortal zombie body. However, refining rank 7 cleanse soul immortal goo was much more difficult than refining rank 6 cleanse soul immortal goo. Moreover, rank 6 cleanse soul immortal goo had to be used as the main material to refine it. After all, immortal goo were unique. Since rank 6 cleanse soul existed, there could be no rank 7, rank 8, or even rank 9 cleanse soul immortal goo in the world. The risk, however, would become much higher. When Fang Yuan was refining cleanse soul and failed, only some immortal materials were destroyed. But if the refinement of rank 7 cleanse soul failed, the rank 6 cleanse soul immortal goo might be the one destroyed, and everything would have to be started over again. Naturally, Fang Yuan could ensure the safety of the immortal materials to some degree with his blood asset, immortal goo. But it was unknown if he could protect the rank 6 cleanse soul, immortal goo during the highly risky refinement process. Moreover, Fang Yuan would have to research the method first. Fang Yuan had attainment level in blood path, but his refinement path attainment was slightly subpar. Lord Sect Leader, do we continue refining? Maybe I could change my vital goo to cleanse soul immortal goo? Sixth Hair transmitted his voice. After becoming a vital goo, cleanse soul immortal goo could be refined to advance to rank 7, and even if the process failed, it would still continue to exist as long as Sixth Hair did not die. At most, it would suffer heavy injuries and be on the verge of dying. But Fang Yuan refused. That's not appropriate, not to mention that changing vital goo is extremely dangerous and could harm you severely. Langya Land Spirit is not easy to deceive. Our relationship on the surface is not enough for you to make such a sacrifice. Then how about letting someone else change it to their vital goo? Ying Wuxi and He Lulan are both eligible candidates. I suggest Ying Wuxi, Sixth Hair suggested. This was indeed a good suggestion. Bai Ning Bing could be excluded. Lady White Rabbit and Fairy Miao Yin were not as reliable as He Lulan and Ying Wuxi, and could also be excluded. The remaining ones were Ying Wuxi, who was a split soul of spectral soul, and He Lulan, who was restricted by the alliance agreement and was unable to rebel. Comparing the two, Ying Wuxi was naturally slightly better. After all, he had high soul path attainment. Moreover, when Fang Yuan took his lead soul into dream in the future, cleanse soul immortal goo could replenish some of his strength. Fang Yuan, however, shook his head. He had refined cleansed soul immortal goo after so much effort. How could he give it so easily? At most, he would only lend it. Moreover, cleansed soul immortal goo was practical, and when used in soul path cultivation, it could slightly cover up some insufficiencies of Donghun Mountain in Luopo Valley. Fang Yuan already intended to firmly hold cleansed soul himself. However, Sixth Hair's words reminded him some things. Although I am Shadow Sect's leader, my control over the sect is rather poor. Binding Bing is not controlled by me. We can only be considered allies who are using each other. Lady White Rabbit likes me, and because of the true inheritance as well, she is following me. Fairy Miao Yin is also cultivating a Shadow Sect inheritance, and is chased by Southern Border's righteous path forces, so she can only stand by my side. Hei Lulan is bound by our alliance agreement, and is unable to betray me. But she is ambitious. She absolutely won't be content with the current state. It is just that she has no way to revolt for the moment. As for Yingwu Shi and Sixth Hair, they are spectral souls, split souls, and are always thinking of saving the main body. But this hope is too minuscule, and they are too weak, so they can only depend on me. If Fang Yuan were to listen to Sixth Hair and hand-cleanse soul immortal goo to Yingwu Shi, in the future, if they had a great opportunity to save spectral soul's main body, but it did not align with Fang Yuan's plans, what would they do? Yingwu Shi and Sixth Hair's decision absolutely would not incline towards Fang Yuan. At that time, Fang Yuan's action of handing cleansed soul immortal goo to Yingwu Shi would be a foolish move of supporting the enemy. Hence, Fang Yuan set another plan to Sixth Hair in Arnin. Although it is only a rank 6 cleansed soul immortal goo, there are some unique methods in Shadow Sect's inheritances that can speed its growth. But it requires sacrificing a rank 7 goo immortal soul. Sixth Hair was dazed before tensing up immediately. Sect leader is thinking of? You should know that you are wanted by both Longevity Heaven and every Huangjin tribe. Relax, I have it under control. Fang Wen patted Sixth Hair's shoulder and slowly walked away. The morning sun passed through the window and shone in the room. Murong Qingxi's mood was great as she sat before a table and hummed a song while playing with the flowers in the pot. The flowers were in full bloom, and under the sunlight the red petals looked tender and joyous. Today was a joyous day for Murong Qingxi, because her lover Yun Liang, according to their previous agreement, was going to come to Murong tribe today to formally ask for her hand in marriage. Actually, it had not been long since the two were acquainted. Murong Qingxi was an immortal from Murong tribe, while Yun Liang was a famous lone cultivator in Northern Plains with the nickname of Cloud Gentleman. Although both were famous characters, the two first saw each other at Hei tribe's Iron Eagle blessed land. They had gotten into a conflict because of immortal material affinity wood. Affinity wood was a rootless tree that grew in the air. It was extremely fragile. There could be no disturbance when gathering it, otherwise this highly valuable immortal material would be destroyed. When Murong Qingxi had discovered the affinity wood, Cloud Gentleman Yun Liang had already begun collecting it. Murong Qingxi did not attack, quietly waiting for him to finish collecting. Yun Liang was very elegant, showing willingness to spar with Murong Qingxi, with the winner taking all the affinity wood. Destiny was truly a mysterious thing. The two were acquainted like this, and in the following days, came across each other many times because of some coincidences. As time continued to pass because of their similar opinions in many things, feelings began to grow between them, and they even pledged to marry each other. Unfortunately, their identities were an obstruction to this marriage. The woman was a Huangjin tribe Gu immortal, while the man was a lone cultivator. Their relationship was reported by someone. They became extremely anxious, but soon the situation turned better unexpectedly. After longevity, Heaven knew of this situation. They actually approved of Yun Liang's and Murong Qingxi's marriage. Because of Heavenly Court's strength, Longevity Heaven was beginning to make plans to deal with the wave of the incoming Great Era, and to unite even more Gu Immortals of the Northern Plains. Gu Immortal World, Longevity Heaven was happy to see this marriage happen. Yun Liang could be said to be a symbolic figure among lone immortals. The political significance of him marrying into the Huangjin tribe's Murong tribe was extremely huge. If it succeeded, longevity heaven would even encourage this matter in the future. Murong Qing naturally did not know of these schemes. She only felt surprised and happy, and was even more thankful towards longevity heaven, rejoicing at her hard-earned love. Yunliang is coming to propose marriage today. The immortal materials are prepared and confirmed. I have checked the list of presents and there are no issues. The clan's supreme elders have received longevity heaven's instructions and will not obstruct this marriage. As long as the marriage proposal succeeds, I will be getting ready for the marriage a month later. But why is there an indescribable feeling of unease lingering in my heart? Murong Qingxi's delicate brows rose slightly. She pressed her palm on her chest as she felt an inexplicable unease. Am I getting insecure because of extreme joy? Hey, there are no issues. What more obstructions can there be? Maybe because I am filled with joy and blissfulness? This feels very surreal to me. Murong Qingxi blushed as she let her thoughts wander. She laughed, her face shining from the bright light inside the room. However, at the next moment, she suddenly stiffened, her face turning deathly pale. At this moment, a soul lantern goo and a life tablet goo had shattered inside her immortal aperture. These two goo worms were the tokens that she and Yunliang had given to each other. Yunliang, no way! This is not possible. Crack. Murong Qingxi burst out of the window and flew frantically towards the sky.